Hello and welcome to the Helios blog. My name is Helios, here for another reaction video. Today, Matthew Hussey talks about charming qualities that are actually red flags. Let's get into it.
The reason she's alone is because she's difficult.
Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Women fuck men they respect.
All the women who say things like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, like, y'all impress me.
Women just gaslight each other and say what they want to hear.
And then all of a sudden, she's in love with this man because she thinks she's the one that can change him. She is the one that can get all the beast part of him out and have this beautiful prince to come out.
Right, exactly.
That's not healthy.
I have someone I am so excited to bring to you today. Her name is Marta Higareda. She is an actor.
To put ourselves out there for jobs, or whether it's to meet a partner, we almost feel like we're now a different version of ourselves going into the world.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I know I've been through for myself, but one of the things that I'm dealing with people across the world all the time is people who have been through terrible heartbreak.
Yeah.
People who have been through toxic or abusive relationships.
There's the classic red flag, or the boilerplate, right? You just say this, toxic, A word, awful, M word, right? But secretly they're just choosing men that don't want to commit.
People who have been in a relationship with a narcissist and had to overcome that.
I'm all of the above.
Look, an actress who's done this. What a surprise.
Well, that's really helpful because I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
One of the big themes of today's session with you is healing habits after heartbreak, after toxic or abusive relationships, after narcissistic relationships. And I'd love to know, at your darkest moments, what the journey looked like for you to come back again to be the person that you are today. So if you could rewind back to that mindset, what were some of the most helpful things you did for yourself in that time?
I feel like...
Classic. I feel like. Yeah. Anyway, again, these girls get into toxic relationships, quote unquote, because that is what they choose. You think this beautiful actress model who's now, 35 plus, you think that when she was 18 to 23, she didn't have 500 different brads that wanted to marry her and treat her like a princess? Of course she did. But she didn't select any of them. No, she selected the toxic one. She selected the A word, the M word, the N word. Those are the guys she selected. Again, to quote Taylor the Fiend, I have no empathy for girls that make these decisions, because they could have at any time chosen an actual good man, and they chose not to. Shilling time. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit all for notifications. Go to my Patreon and subscribe, patreon.com/theheliosblog. Buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. Drop me a donation like Hunter M, Adrian R, and Tom M. Shoutouts to them. Link is in the description. Just click more underneath the video. Shilling is done. Let's continue.
It's interesting because I do write, and I've been doing a lot of romantic comedies. I'm known in Latin America for being kind of like the queen of romantic comedies. And I realized that I was doing all these movies, Matt, but I was not fulfilled in love.
What a surprise. Because those movies are not reality. And, of course, girls love the drama, of, oh, is he into me? Is he not into me? Does he love me today? Does he not love me anymore? Is he with another girl, or is he, is he just for me? Is he cheating on me, or is he not? Is he happy, or is he sad? Is he going to hit me today, or is he not? Is he doing illicit substances today, or is he not? Instead of choosing a good, solid man that would marry her, have children with her, support her for the rest of her life, treat her like a princess. No, those men are weak. Dark triad men. These are the men that women choose. And especially in 2023.
That I would find myself relationship after relationship, heartbroken.
What a surprise. Oh, you mean the men that you want don't want you? You tried to get with the director and he just discarded you for another actress? What a surprise.
And I was the common denominator in all of
Indeed.
these relationships, right? Whether
Wow.
It was
Wait. You mean a girl who's not from America is capable of taking personal accountability and responsibility? Say it ain't so. First girl. Like, if you look at my channel, all the videos we've covered, the amount of girls that have said anything like this is minuscule. Because, these Western girls. And again, is it any surprise that men then are passport bros? They're like, you know what? I don't need girls from the West. I'm gone. And they go to a different country where the girls actually are able to take accountability and personal responsibility for their actions. You see? Right there. Wasn't that such a beautiful thing? The common denominator is me. How many of you, listeners, have heard a girl say, it was my fault. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. How common is that? Tell me in the comments.
an okay relationship or a toxic relationship or with a narcissist it got to a point for me that I was just with myself crying. And I remember I had this conversation with myself in which I said, how come I don't know what is this thing about love? Like what is
what is this thing about love? Yeah, you're choosing the men that don't want you. That's what it is. The men that you're interested in, the apex men. Being an actress, she's after the top 0.5% of men on earth. She's not after Beta Billy from that's an accountant. No. That's not good enough for her. She's a supermodel. She's an actress. She needs Dan Bilzerian to commit to only her, marry only her, sleep with only her, and have children with her, and pay for all of her life. And if it's not a guy like that, well, and then she's surprised when a guy like that sleeps with her once and discards her and never talks to her again. Ooh, I can't understand. Oh, why am I so heartbroken? What's so hard about this love thing?
is this thing about love? I consider myself a good person.
Okay.
I consider myself, I work out, I take care of myself.
Right.
I think I'm smart in some ways. Maybe in love I wasn't, but, I consider myself a good human being with good values. Why is it that I am not getting it?
Because you're choosing the men that are not interested in you. If you go to your Instagram, you have 500,000 messages every week of men that want to marry you, treat you like the princess that they think you are, and so on. But you don't choose a single one of those men. Instead, you choose the guy that's different, the guy that doesn't give a crap about you. You choose that guy, and then wonder why it all goes wrong. There it is, right in front of your face.
Like, where's a memo that nobody gave me? And then I realized, it has a lot to do with my own wounds.
Oh my God. I haven't done my healing. I need to do my healing. It's my own wounds. No, it's not your wounds. Or maybe it is. It's about your choices. You are choosing men that are not interested in you. How about you try choosing a guy that is? Oh wait, you're not attracted to that guy, right? Yeah, it's gotta be a guy who's an apex physical specimen plus good money plus more popular than you, and then that's the only pool of men you're choosing from. Have you ever thought that you have a bit of competition? This is why women become miserable, by the way. Because Girls literally price themselves out of the market because women are hypergamous. They want a guy that's better than them in every way. The bigger a girl's career gets, the more money she earns, the more status she gets, the more anything. The less men she finds attractive, the smaller the pool gets, the more likely she is to be used and discarded. Because the more options a man has, the less likely he is to commit to any of them. And for an actress, think about the kinds of men that she sees as superior to her. Very tiny fraction of the total male population, the rest of which she sees as invisible. She has created the very recipe for her own misery and doesn't realize it, and nobody's ever explained it to her. And you can bet that Matthew is not going to tell her this, because he makes money off of lying to girls, basically. Or, sugarcoating it so much that they don't even understand what he's saying. And they just feel better after the conversation.
Attracting partners in my life that will complement me. And the reason why I'm using that word, that complement me, is because you complete me type of, idea. Is because a lot of romantic movies, they teach you all the fun part of how to fall in love. But they don't tell you what happens after that. Happily ever after.
This is just a bunch of platitude crap. But I mean, you guys knew that already. Yeah. Romantic comedies don't exist. Real life is not like that. Like, doesn't she have a family? She's from Latin America. Don't these people have traditional family values? Should I listen to any of that? She sounds very Western in her thinking.
And we grew up, and I love Disney movies. There's something that you and I and Audrey, we all enjoy.
She's brainwashed
going
by
to
Disney
Disneyland.
movies.
We were actually talking to your mom right before this about going to Disneyland, and I love it. There's certain princess stories,
right,
that I think could be
damaging,
very harmful,
indeed,
to a woman.
Yes,
if you believe that is your path.
That's right. Yeah, if you believe you'll find Prince Charming, you're going to end up 35 alone with cats and boxed wine. By the way, I was looking at her hand intently because I was curious if she's married. She's not. Yeah, if you believe you'll find Prince Charming, which is to say, a handsome, jacked, rich prince who will sweep you off your feet and marry you, that's not going to happen. That's like 0.0000001% of women in the West get a man like that. And the rest get a guy less than that. But all these girls want that guy. And if it's not that guy, it's nobody. Well, okay, then you're going to be miserable your whole life, obviously. Because you've set yourself up for such failure. There's no way you can actually succeed.
And that you're going to follow, let's say, the Beauty and the Beast, right? So talking about the narcissistic relationship I was in.
That's a classic.
In the Beauty and the Beast, she falls in love with a beast.
Indeed.
That treats her horrible, that locks her up in his castle.
Right.
And then when she's trying to run away, she gets attacked by a pack of wolves, and then the beast defends her. And then all of a sudden, she's in love with this man because she thinks she's the one that can change him.
Right. That describes... Okay. Let me explain something about female nature, which is maybe unflattering. It's called the war brides dynamic. Throughout history, women were, owned as property. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but basically they evolved to accept the strongest. Women are biologically hardwired to be attracted to the strongest, which means a woman is not attracted to a sheep. She's only attracted to a wolf. That is the law of the land. So you can say all you want about how it's a toxic story. That is female nature, right? Women's nature is not to take a weak sheep and commit to him. No. Women's nature is to take a strong man and try to get that strong man to submit to her, which never works, right? Or works very poorly and leads to lots of arguments, right? But that's the inherent contradiction in women's nature, right? You gotta deal with it, as they say, because there is no other option. a guy like that is not good for a long-term relationship. But of course, when women are ovulating, that's the guy they want to sleep with. And that's the thing. Women's mating strategy is schizophrenic, right? Simultaneously going for the alpha who doesn't want to commit and the beta that does, but basically having children with the alpha and having the beta male take care of the child, right? That's the optimized version of women's strategy, right? Because Prince Chad doesn't exist, the nice guy prince who is, you know, a beast that is also a nice guy, because that guy doesn't exist, what they do is they sleep with the beast and they extract the resources, money, and commitment from Beta Billy. If it was actual real life. Yeah, so, and again, if she's learned her lesson so well, where is her ring? That's what I want to ask.
That she is the one that can get all the beast part of him out and have this beautiful prince to come out. That's not healthy, in my opinion. This is my opinion, by the way.
Yeah, except when you were 18 to 23, what were you doing? Now that you're 35 plus, now you've learned. This is why, by the way, guys, this is why it needs to be in fashion to marry at 18 to 23 and have children. And it needs to be in fashion to marry a good man, because women will do what's in fashion. Right now it's in fashion to not get married, to be strong and independent, to have their career, to sleep around with 40 chads, and then at 35 plus be like, where have all the good men gone? That's what's in fashion right now. And all the girls say, no, you're a strong, independent queen. You will be the one to get chad at 36. When it's a lie.
Oh, we were speaking to our mutual friend Tom Billiou, and he was saying how many of the stories of romantic love around women involve taking a guy who's kind of a really difficult, he's horrible to everybody, he's not a nice person to be around, but eventually, because of some unique formula that she applies, because of the key that she holds, she is able to get a treatment from him that other people don't get.
Right. So that's literally every single romance novel, like in history, that is successful has this formula. 50 Shades of Grey, all the vampire, werewolf, pirate stories, all of them have this exact theme, which is the theme of The Beauty and the Beast, by the way. Yeah, and look at her smile, right? Because she agrees. Because that's the only man she's ever chosen. Because that's the only guy that gets the tingles going. And girls don't select based on logic and reason, no. And this is also why arranged marriages existed, by the way. Because, 5,000 years ago when people were smart, I'm kidding, obviously. They're still smart now. They've just been brainwashed from a young age. People don't know the truth, right? And eventually the pendulum will swing the other way. That's my opinion. But anyway, because people were smart 5,000 years ago, they're like, oh, okay, I see. Women's nature is to choose the caveman, so Grog the caveman. And so we need to make sure that they're not choosing Grog the caveman. You know what? She's not going to be able to make this decision on her own. She's going to choose Chad every time. We've seen it. It's not just her. It's her and her mom, her grandma, her great-grandma. You know what? We're going to make the decision for you. We, the father. I know better. I'm going to make the decision with my parents. We're going to select a good man for you to marry. And you're not going to like it, but he's going to provide for you. He's going to have children with you. He's going to take care of you. And you are not allowed to leave this man. That is called arranged marriage. Old school system. And it worked. And it produced stable societies. But of course, at the expense of women's happiness, right? Women are obviously not happy marrying a guy who's not Chad. But they're happy having children. They're happy being a wife. They're happy being a mother, they're happy being a grandmother, and that's the kind of society that arranged marriages produced. And, later on, they're like, okay, whatever, some societies were like, arranged marriages are barbaric, but we will have Christian marriage, right? Both of you have to be, no end count before marriage, you marry at 18, you have children right away, it's a person who's been vetted by the family, but it's not an arranged marriage, but it's kind of an arranged marriage because the guy is kind of vetted by the community in the same way that arranged marriage, you kind of vet, like the father vets. In this system, the priest vets, and the family, and the other family, and so on, right? The community vets. A similar system, right? It's just slightly different, but similar system, similar outcome, right? And that produced stable societies too, right? And then we have 2023. Have kids with Chad, and then get a beta, hook a beta, and get him to pay for it, or marry a guy, have kids with him, but you're actually hooked on Chad, get him for child support, raise the kids as a single mother, don't get married, just sleep with 50 Chads, none of them choose you, get cats and boxed wine, this is 2023. Now tell me, in which system do women are women wives with long-term relationships where they have the ability to become grandmothers? 2023 system, or the biblical system, or the pre-biblical arranged marriage system? You tell me, guys. Tell me in the comments. Is 2023 doing it better, or did our predecessors do it better? By the way, guys, many societies have fallen. Not Roman society. If I read this correctly, the Arabian Empire and so on, they fell to similar situations as today. People got too comfortable, degeneracy ruled, no more marriages, bachelor tax, and so on. And society just crashed into the floor. So, again, guys, perhaps a return to the old system isn't so bad. Anyway, let's continue.
So then that makes her feel special because she's the one that's going to finally change this man and make him commit, or make him quit drinking, or make him whatever is the story. But then what happens to me is that then you're placing your value onto another person. If I change this man, then therefore I am enough.
What? That's not exactly it. It's the conclusion from the premise is false. That's not why women choose those men. They choose those men because those men are not the average. Those men, and of course, they always choose physically attractive chads who also have these qualities. It's not like they choose, Joe Schmo with a beer belly and who's 5'6", and they marry him or whatever. They can't get his commitment, and they try to convince him to stop drinking. No, it's the physical ideal, or close to the physical ideal, makes a lot of money and is close to the physical ideal, or whatever. Like that. Those are the guys. And they're like, no, I would never take an average man. I'll try to change this guy. It's like that.
And it all has to do, I think, for me, and this is, again, my personal experience, it has to do with you feeling enough or not.
Right, so now that you're 35 plus and you know your worth, and now you know what you want, now you know what you desire, now you know what you deserve, and now you've got it. Now you're the most valuable, right? Now you deserve a Prince Charming, right? No, Prince Charming is back in your 18 to 23 where you left him. He's back in your rockstar phase. He's back there. That's where you left him. And the train has passed.
So I was in all of these relationships, in different kinds of relationships, coming into them from a wounded place. I had not healed the most important part of me.
Yeah, I've had my fun, and now I'm ready to settle down. I've done my healing, and now I'm ready for a real relationship. She sounds exactly like a modern woman, right? Totally brainwashed womanist. And somehow has missed the traditional family values from a Latin American country. I'm not really sure how. If any of you guys are listening on the podcast or on the YouTube channel, please let me know in the comments. Is this common in Latin American countries? I'm not familiar. This girl is talking exactly like a Western woman. Exactly.
Which is my relationship with myself and my self-love.
What would happen back then,
Yeah.
when you would come across somebody who had already done that work on themselves, maybe they had healed a lot of parts of themselves, they were approaching relationships from a healthy way.
Yeah.
Was your experience that you weren't attracted to them? Did you not even see them?
Now we come to the crux of the issue. She didn't even see the beta males. I mean, they never do until they're older. Guys, I mean, you can't make this crap up. It's cross-cultural. Women are hypergamous. They never see beta Billy. Doesn't matter what culture you're in. Which is why before, you had arranged enforced marriage so that beta Billy was incentivized to work, and this girl who would have wasted all of her youth chasing chads would actually be married and have a family. You see?
Were they not even did they not even stand out to you?
Yeah.
Like what would you say your experience of people like that was?
So sometimes I wouldn't even see them.
Wow, what a surprise. Never heard that before.
Like Lewis and I have had this conversation. We say to each other, if we had known each other 3 years ago, even 3 years ago, it's not that long ago, we probably wouldn't have seen each other.
I see. Again, this I qualify under a category called beta torture, right? Things that women say to beta males that if they understood what it meant would be like stabbing them in the heart, right? And that is one of them. It's saying, 3 years ago, you would have been invisible to me because don't you know you're a total loser? That's what she's saying, right? And he's like, yeah, you know, sad, you know? And the guy just kind of goes along with it, which further reinforces that he doesn't get it, right? And then subconsciously she's like, why is he with, like, I know why he's with me, because I'm settling for him, right? Otherwise he had no chance with me. You see? We're going to end the video there. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit all for notifications. Drop me a donation like Hunter M, Adrian R, and Tom M. Shout outs to them. Just click more underneath the video. Buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. Go to my Patreon and subscribe, patreon.com/theheliosblog. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to the video, especially if you listen to the end. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.